got this. Come on, step on the way. On the way.
I was just in a plane crash. Oh my God.
So few people know what it's like to survive something like this.
There aren't a lot of experiences in life where you truly believe that this is going to be the end.
Lauren Langille is one of them.
It feels so far away, but it also feels like it was yesterday.
Lauren survived the Air France crash landing at Toronto Pearson Airport in 2005. The pilot overshot the runway, attempting to land in a powerful thunderstorm. Somehow, all 309 people on board lived. The Delta crash, also at Pearson, also an unlikely story of survival for all 76 passengers and 4 crew, brought back memories of that day.
Realizing that we're crashing, feeling the heat of the fire on my face. I'm losing my train of thought even talking about this.
How are you doing this week?
Anytime I see something like that, I kind of detach from watching the event. But when I went to read through some of the stories of what people experienced, it kind of brought me right back.
Lauren was just 15 years old at the time, returning from an idyllic summer in France.
The plane broke out in flames, black smoke. You couldn't see much.
Some relatives only found out she was alive after she appeared that night on The National.
And all that you saw was orange. I had no idea what was going on until I left the plane. I just had the thought in my head that I'm gonna be all right, and I started helping other people, and it was just amazing how everyone came together.
Her account so similar to those of the Delta survivors.
There was like a big fireball out this left side of the plane.
Everyone seemed like they were there to make sure we helped each other.
Still kind of taking it all in, and it doesn't really feel quite real.
I certainly feel for the people that went through the crash because they have a long journey ahead.
For Lauren, surviving the Air France crash made her feel invincible. She only realized the true trauma of that day years later.
Everyone survived. I should feel so grateful. And I really just tried to push it away.
Can you talk about the realization of the impact that day was still having on you years later and what that was like?
I've done a lot of work to overcome the PTSD that came with it. To be honest, a lot of therapy, a lot of years of therapy, but just walking around with that layer of fear that's kind of in your subconscious, it's come up unexpectedly. Anytime I smell burning rubber, my brain immediately goes back to that moment because that's one of the smells that was really prominent after the crash happened. Like if I'm near a car crash and there's burnt rubber, that brings up a lot of fear for me.
But Lauren has not let any of it hold her back from traveling the world. We spoke with her as she was getting ready for a trip to Costa Rica. What would you say about how you've been able to kind of not let that consume your life?
One of the things I did was I got on a plane pretty quickly after it happened. Other than having a bumpy landing, that might jolt me back, but luckily I'm able to be pretty calm when I'm on planes.
Lauren hopes the same for the Delta survivors. I just wonder what you would say to people who were in the crash on Monday, who are just starting to begin to process what they went through as someone who went through something very similar 20 years ago, almost.
I completely detached from what was going on. I never talked about it in a way where I got to feel and experience the feelings that were going on because I told it more like a story. I just wanted to put this behind me, but I think I would have saved myself a lot of money and time and heartache if I had dove in to work through this earlier on. Even if this brings up discomfort for me in the short term, if anything I say can make someone feel like they're seen or heard, or they might get something out of it where it helps them to get help, I think it's worth it.